My name is Olufemila Abraham, and I'm with the University of Pittsburgh School of Pharmacy. I'm here to talk about barriers to pharmacist-child communication and the implications for providing medication counseling in community pharmacies. The reason why we were interested in this topic is because there's been a substantial increase in pediatric chronic health conditions, and there have been serious concerns with unsafe uses of pediatric medications, both OTCs and prescription medications. We also know that children with chronic conditions, in particular, have a higher risk of improper administration. Dosing errors, in particular medication adherence, is poorer in children than adults. There's also need for pediatric pharmaceutical services because traditionally in community pharmacies, we cater to older adults, and we typically don't know that a lot of children have improved outcomes when we communicate with them about their medicines. Research has shown us that children have improved adherence, disease self-management, and outcomes when they're involved in their care and they receive communication from healthcare professionals. Our study was a two-phase study where we started with an observational phase, a 14-day observation in 3 pharmacies in North Carolina and the Pennsylvania region. We observed children and parents that picked up medications in pharmacies, and what we found is that children only came a third of the time, and most prescriptions were indicative of ADHD. And the most common barrier to counseling was really the child not being there. And this is also similar to what we found in pharmacy self-report. We know that child age is a predictor of counseling. And what we found is that younger children were more likely to receive counseling. We followed up with interviews with pharmacy staff and parents and children. And the research really showed us that a lot of children are self-managing their medications, even though they have minimal knowledge and parental supervision. And so this increases our safety concerns and the reasons for high non-adherence. We also know that children, what we found is that they're not familiar with pharmacists because they have few interactions with them. A lot of them learn about medicines from their physicians, even though they all reported being comfortable and receptive to counseling by pharmacists. The interview showed us that children, parents, and pharmacists recommend the use of interactive technologies and having kid-friendly educational resources in pharmacies to facilitate counseling. Something that was very unique from the pharmacist interviews is that the pharmacy needs to be more conducive and have private areas to facilitate children being able to talk to pharmacists. Also, pharmacists highlighted that they need training in really knowing how to engage with this vulnerable population because their typical experience doesn't involve counseling children. Future direction that this has shown us is there's need to develop continuing education for practicing pharmacists and pharmacy students in pediatric counseling. There's need to develop interactive and child-friendly educational tools to facilitate pharmacist-child medication counseling. There's also need to really evaluate age-appropriate counseling that is needed, particularly for adolescents that are self-managing their chronic condition. For future work, we're looking to partner with community pharmacies to implement interventions for adolescents in the community. Thank you. If you would like to partner in this research project, you can contact me on olufemila.abraham@pitt.edu.